This is Craig that's inside the computer. Say hi, Craig.
Hi.
One of the others could not make it. So, first, I want to thank y'all for attending my presentation. The presentation will be about how to start a podcast. This will be a very basic presentation about the very minimal things you need to know about how to start a podcast. Alright, so first, what is a podcast? In a very, very basic definition, it is downloadable radio. You can download talk shows, interview shows, and music shows. It started in the 1980s with small files and MIDI files back when the internet was just dial-up on the phone. It gained popularity in 2004 due to broadband internet being popular and also due to digital media among smartphones and iPods and all your digital media player devices. So you're probably asking yourself, why should I start a podcast? Well, if you love something, you want to share it with others. I love hockey, so I tell others about how much I love hockey and how much everyone should love hockey. People like to talk about politics. They like to talk about sports and all their baking and other hobbies that they may have. Also comics, that's a good one to talk about. You want to make money. Podcasts are becoming so popular now that people are willing to pay you to mention their product on the air. People are making thousands and thousands of dollars a week by just mentioning their product. You can also use it to promote yourself. There's other motives, because there are stand-up comedians out there who want to get their name out there, so it's just a stepping stone to another career. So, you want to emulate what is great. The top podcast right now is the Adam Carolla Show. It gets over 1 million downloads per episode, 5 million episodes per week. 5 million downloads per week. Real Time with Bill Maher, a guy who likes to put his show out there for free just to promote himself. The Apple Sisters, a variety show that takes place in the 1940s, so to speak. And of course, not last but not least, my show, Hockey Talk Uncensored, where I just talk about hockey for a solid hour. So where do you begin? Well, first, you got to figure out what you want to talk about. You want to talk about movies. You want to talk about baking. Are you going to do a talk show where you just talk like I do? Are you going to interview people, your friends, family, celebrities? Or are you just going to do a multimedia show that involves music and videos? You have to buy proper equipment. Something like this, a desktop microphone, is not going to cut it. You're going to want to have your whole studio set up. And this is a very basic studio that may take hundreds of dollars to build. This right here is my microphone that I use. It's a very standard studio microphone with a pop filter to make sure the audio sounds a lot more clear and more professional. You need to build a website. It gets your podcast out there and exposes it to the world. Also, you got to create an identity. You want a logo, you want branding, you want people to say, that there is a podcast that I listen to because I can see that logo. You need to create an RSS feed. This may be the most important thing because this is what gets your podcast out there among all the other networks, on iTunes, on Stitcher, and other podcast aggregators. And you must find the appropriate software that enhances your podcast, whether it's to upload it to your website or it's to edit it to make it sound clearer or put more music into it, what have you. Getting the right program can make a world of difference. And last but not least, start recording. Once you start recording, you can feel comfortable about your topics, you can feel comfortable about your own speech, and in the end, you'll find more about the topics that you want to talk about, more about yourself, and along the way, your podcast will be bigger and bigger, and will be a lot better for you and your audience in the future. You'll be surprised about how many people will thank you for the podcast that you put out. So, thank you so much for listening to my presentation about podcasts. Say hi, Craig.